Hey, everybody. Listen, did I freeze? Did I freeze there? Am I there? Okay, I think I'm here. Listen, hey, everybody. What's today? Happy Thursday. Oh my God. Happy Thursday, y'all. It is Trending Topic Thursday. We're in the building and we got some stuff to talk about. You know, Tyler Perry, before I even get into Tyler Perry, let me back up and say that tonight's Trending Topics is called Shady People. Shady People. Tyler Perry is a whole hot mess, okay? Whole hot mess. Oh, thank you, TM Christian. I'll go back and backtrack and watch it. Tyler Perry is a whole hot mess. Yeah, Tyler Perry came out and said that, first of all, he's salty. When you get to the status where one, you got money for days, two, you're a whole billionaire, and three, the best you got is responding to people, and then you're going to respond to the people in a nasty way. You got to be dumb, stupid, or both. He's pissed because some people are talking about his movie Divorce in the Black. Some prime. And people are saying that pretty much his characters are all the same, especially when it comes to the females. They all in distress. They all got a problem. They all either getting beat down by a man, left by a man, or something on that line. And the people said they're over it. They want him to get Did y'all lose me for a minute? I may have to hardwire into my computer. Yeah, I froze. I see that. Thank you. Hopefully, everything will go right. If not, in a minute, I'll go hardwire into my internet and see what happened. So he talks to Keke Palmer, and he talk about the highbrow Negroes. He don't care what we say. This is God ordained, and he gonna do what he got to do. And these stories need to be told. First, Tyler told us, the black woman, he said, the black woman, we need to be happy if the man could pay the light bill and take us out to dinner every now and then. That's what Tyler Perry said. Every now and then, if, the man can pay a light bill for you and take you out to dinner, you should be happy. And if you're looking for anything more, he said, good luck. He said, good luck. I'm paraphrasing, but he said, good luck. So now, because we're telling him we're tired of seeing the same old storyline, still supporting him, but told him we tired of the same old storyline, and he going to tell us, you little highbrow Negroes, I don't care what y'all say. Shady people. In his previous statement, that is also not what he said. Too good to leave me now. Wait, let me see. Hold on one second. I saw the interview. He said that if you allow someone to tell you, to tell you pit where God wants you to be, you will find yourself in hell. He's not wrong. All right, that's your opinion. Too good to leave you now. I'm telling you how I interpret what he said, and how I think he messy, and how I think he's shady. And how I think the very people that support him on a regular basis, he's telling us off. That's what I feel. So, shady people. I think he's messy. Okay? Highbrow, meanwhile, he's a billionaire, and would he date a maid? He would not. Did he marry his baby mama? He did not. He did not. And if we want to tell him that we're sick of seeing and hearing those stories, but we're going to support him, we'll support him, but we're sick of it. And you can't tell us that we low in the gutter and all of this other stuff just because we tell you we don't like those stories and we're tired of them. Shady people. Now let's move on to Apollo Nida. So Phaedra Parks, ex-husband, he's married again now. The new wife name is Shireen. He's married. So, Shireen and him get into it. These cell phones is going to be the death of the people. We just heard either, what was it, last week or earlier this week, the 12-year-old, she unalives her 8-year-old cousin over a cell phone. Jonathan Majors almost got locked up over a cell phone. And now Apollo Nida and his wife, they get in a tussle over cell phone. She called the cops. He gets arrested. He bonds himself out. And now she said, you know what? All is well. Y'all go ahead on and mind your business. We went to counseling. All is well. Now they was fighting because they both was accusing each other of cheating on each other. So I'm like, what is the foolery that the people are doing now? You fighting? You're both cheating on each other. You want to see this cell phone because the cell phone got the evidence. You call the cops. You put 2110 when you call the cops, because when the cops came, they didn't see no bruises on her. And now she's saying, we're good. We went to counseling. So here's the thing. Y'all can be good. That's fine. But don't come to us 5-10 years later and you have a $3 million lawsuit against Apollo talking about how you was abused and all of this stuff that happened in relationship because you could have left and you went to counseling and you stayed and you want to tell us y'all good. Y'all ain't been married but for 2 hot seconds and you're both already cheating on each other. These shady, messy people. Now let's talk about this last story. If you remember from the 80s, the show The Facts of Life, and all the girls said they were friends for 40 years. Thick as thieves, tight. They had an opportunity to do a reboot of The Facts of Life. So they was doing this opportunity during the pandemic. So they do a little Zoom call, okay? They do a little Zoom call, and they get together, and Norman Lear was still alive at the time. So they talk about getting the writers or whatever. Somebody in the group broke the code, and they went off to the side and tried to make their own deal, and they squashed the reboot of The Facts of Life. And she said, she didn't initially say it, but the host that she was talking to said it, and then she said, you're right, greedy bees. She said, the greedy bees made the deal fall through. And if you ever did group activities or you had a group of friends, it's always somebody in the group that got to throw a monkey wrench in a situation. You like, we all going to go to dinner and eat at the Cheesecake Factory. It's all set. Reservations 8 o'clock. The next thing you know, somebody texting, oh, I don't want to go. You're like, well, what happened? Oh, so-and-so called me and said this and this, that, and the other. There's one person that always throws a monkey wrench in the situation. When there's chaos, a lot of times when you peel away the layers of the chaos, it all these roads leads back to one person. All the roads lead back to one person. So she wanted to go off and make her own side deal. Why don't you wait till we make this deal here? Lock it in, sign the dotted line, and then go make your own side deal. You want to go in the midst of us talking about this, you want to go up to the side and try to make your own side deal, and kibosh, our thing is just gone off the table now. Shady people. It's always somebody. You want to destroy 40 years of friendship over a nickel? Where they do that at? 40 years of friendship. You want to destroy that by going behind our back and trying to make a deal to get a spinoff on your own, starring you and just you. Messy. But I promise you, when it's a group situation, there's always somebody in that group that's shaking the table. You be like, oh, well, I heard, but who told you that? And be like, well, so-and-so called me. And you like, there you go. There you go. Always somebody in the group throwing a little monkey wrench in it and spoiling it for everybody. Now we're all missing out on the bag because you want to act a fool. And you want to be greedy. So instead of us all getting $50,000, we're all getting zero because you wanted to be greedy. I promise you, there's always one in the group looking out for self. Me, myself, and I. It's a mess. So we're going to talk about it. Now, when she talked, she didn't really want to name who it was. She said, go to her Instagram page, find out this, who's that, see who I ain't hanging out with. Girl, if you're going to talk. Say her name. Say the co-worker's name. So you got the people on the street being a Nancy Drew, trying to figure out the mystery. But you know, the streets, they found out. I was confused. I was like, is it Kim? Who is it? Is it Nancy McKeon? Is it Kim? No, they saying it was the one that played Blair. Her name is Lisa. They said she was the one being messy, going behind the scenes. And Mindy said it left a nasty taste in everybody's mouth. And the people just didn't want to work together no more. You know, who would have known? You know, what's that, Sex in the City? I would have thought all of those ladies on that show were like best friends. Best friends. But no, it was a lot of tension on the set of Sex in the City. And you know, jealousy is a nasty thing. I mean, if you go back so many shows, you could talk about so many of these sitcoms, and you know what they will say? That somebody on the set was jealous. Said somebody on the set was jealous. And it's a shame. Listen, let me tell y'all something. I know how to be the co-star. You the star, I'm the co-star, I'm good. I'm getting my check, I'm good. I don't got to be the star. Yeah, it was Kim Cattrall versus Sarah Jessica Parker. It's a nasty fight. Just could not get along to the point where Kim Cattrall didn't even want to do the reboot of it. She didn't want to do it. And the fans wanted her so bad. But they said she was acting crazy. Well, yeah, I don't know. Everybody has to be the star. You know, these sports now, out of control. I promise you something needs to be done about these sports. I think it was grade school. You can look for the video out there now. Grade school, basketball. The player goes and stomps on the other player's head. Where do they do that at? Who has that much violence in them? That is no longer sports. That's not sports. Something going on, there's a ball tussle, and you think to go over there and stomp on someone's head? Who raised you? I'm telling you, that is evil, Special K. I'm telling you right now, something needs to be done with these sports. When you have that energy in you, it's not isolated to when you're going to play basketball. I promise you that. It's not. There's no way. You got a temper on you that's uncontrollable, and it's not isolated to, I'm only going to show this side of me when I go play basketball. It's not isolated to that. Not at all. Y'all could Google it because this is a recent story. It's grade school basketball. The kid, his teammate was tussling with the ball with another one. The one guy was on the floor. He goes over to him, lifts his foot up, and stomps his head. The referee had to come grab him. It was like, what the heck is going on here? Listen, people, it's Trending Topics Thursday. The title is called Shady People. Y'all know what we about to do. We about to bring the people on in the building. What do I need in that chat? Come on, people now. I need a choo-choo. Thank you, Rebel. All aboard, everybody. It is Thursday night Trending Topics. Thank you, Tay-Tay. And the title is called Shady People. We got Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry is so far removed. The words that come out of his mouth don't even make any kind of sense. Some highbrow Negroes. That's the word he's going to use. In this day and age, that's the word he's going to use. The people that support his movies, they supported Medea 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Medea goes to jail. Medea makes dinner. Medea cooks pancakes. Who did he think supported all of that? And he talking about us. Paulo gets arrested. And facts of life. Let me bring the people on the building because we got to talk here. Hold on right now. Hey, Leo.
Hey, Diva, let's talk.
Let's talk. Hey, in my opinion.
Hey, Diva.
Hey,
Choo-choo.
Hey, E. Hey, Felicia. Hey, Katrina. Hey, the Don is in the building. Oops, hold on now. Hey, the Don. Look at my computer just acting a fool here. All right, let's see what's going on here. I'm sorry, y'all. It's just acting up. Hey, Sebastian. Hey, Tony.
Hey, Diva.
Hey, everybody. All right, everybody, mute your lines. I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna get into this first story, okay? I appreciate all of y'all for being here. If you out on the platform, hit the like button. That's your ticket on this train ride. We're gonna go ahead and start with this Tyler Perry thing. I don't know why I was shocked, but I was shocked. But I'm going to bring you back down memory lane to remind us all why we shouldn't be shocked, because he told all the black women out there, aim low. He told us all to aim low. He told us the best that we can get and should expect is a man that could pay the light bill and take us out to dinner every now and then. And if we have anything else on our wish list, he wished us good luck with that. Now, he always talking about God and how God put him in his position. God has blessed them. Well, my thing is, do you think God is only loving you? He can't bless nobody else? Because he told us good luck, but for him, everything he got came from God. He's a whole hot mess, and I'm over him. Okay, hold on. Let me remind you of when he told us to, good luck and what we should do.
Secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money. All I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff. You handle the light bill, baby. You can take me to dinner every now and then. Mm-hmm. That is fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's so hard for a lot of people to take in, because that means, no. I need somebody to, who is, they need to make 5 times more, and I got to have. Well, you keep your list, baby.
Yeah.
God bless you. Hope it happens. Go and keep your list. But when you talk about just someone to love you and support you, I know people whose men can't touch what they make.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
But when you see them together, that love, that support, that I got you, babe, it's a beautiful thing. Listen, a lot of women, especially black women, and I might get in trouble for saying this, but I will. In our society right now, black women are making a lot more money for the most part than black men, right? There are a lot of black men who are successful, but for the most part, black women are making the money. So if you can find love, if that man works, at whatever job, and is a good man and is good to you, and honors the house and honors his wife and does what he can, because his gift may not be your gift.
Exactly.
That is okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's not somebody who's beneath you.
Yeah.
That's somebody who came to love you at your worth, right?
Yes.
And as long as he's secure in himself to know that, yep, she makes most of the money, all I can pay is the light bill. As long as she's comfortable enough to say, I'm going to cover the mortgage and all the other stuff, you handle the light bill, baby, you can take me to dinner every now and then. That is fine.
Yeah.
The foolery of Tyler Perry. That was way back then he said that. So let me just hold on. Let me bring E back in the building, and then I'll share a screen with y'all again. Let's bring you up to date with his most up-to-date nonsense. Okay, let me see why it won't share. Okay. I don't know. My computer is being really slow today, y'all. Okay, but I will read to you while I'm waiting for my computer to just catch up. So Tyler Perry, highbrow Negro critiques are BS, he said. Okay, I might be able to share again. Let's see. After I bring you up, I think I'm gonna have to go hardwire into my computer because it's just not being happy right now. Hold on, let's see. It might go through. It might go through. Okay. All right, I'm not sure what's going on here, but it's okay. I will read to y'all. So Tyler Perry is not letting anyone tell him which stories matter, firing off a few shots at highbrow Negroes who think only certain Black stories should be told. The actor-director chatted with Keke Palmer on her podcast Wednesday about staying true to his authentic voice, while critics regularly fire off about his modes of storytelling, specifically the characters he uses to tell his stories. So I might be able to play this now. Let's see if we can hear him in his own words.
I love that you've never allowed that criticism to stop you from being able to have your authentic voice as an artist, because it does get really difficult.
Yeah, but what? No. You got to drown all of that out, because if you let somebody talk you out of a place that God has put you in, you are going to find yourself in hell. I know for a fact that what I'm doing is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing, because for everyone who is a critic, I have thousands of used to be emails from people saying, this changed my life. Oh my God, you know me. Oh my God, you saw me. How did you know this about my life, my family? So that is what is important. We're talking a large portion of my fans who are disenfranchised, who cannot get in the Volvo and go to therapy on the weekend. So you've got this highbrow Negro who is all up in the air with his nose up looking at everything. And then you got people like where I come from and me who are grinders, who really know what it's like, whose mothers and who were caregivers for white kids and were maids and housekeepers and all of these beauticians. That don't discount these people and say that their story don't matter. Who are you to be able to say which Black story is important or should be told? Get out of here with that bullshit.
Yes.
So while critics regularly fire off about his modes of storytelling, the computer's just acting up. All right, hopefully that'll stop it. Specifically, the characters he uses to tell his stories. Tyler Perry said he feels God put him in the place he's at to tell stories, and anyone who lets the haters talk them out of that place will wake up in hell. Perry says he knows he's on the right track because members of his audience regularly stop him on the street and thank him for seeing their story, even if it's not the one the highbrow Negro in his audience might want to see. Tyler points out a huge amount of his audience is disenfranchised, people who don't have the resources of their richer counterparts, and those snooty fans who don't want him telling stories about maids, beauticians, or others in the service industry don't share the same lived experience. Perry adds, don't discount these people and say their stories don't matter. Who are you to be able to say which Black story is important or should be told? Get out of here with that BS, he said. Perry's embroiled in critics versus fan debate. Now, his flick Divorce in the Black still has a 0 critic score on Rotten Tomatoes, though the audience scoring sitting at 75%, so his fans are riding with him. Perry seemingly instilling similar defiance in his actors, because when we caught up with the movie star Corey Hardrick in LA, he said the Rotten Tomatoes scores BS, adding he's happy if fans love the movie. Tyler Perry, Leo, your thoughts?
So let me clear my throat. So I feel like Tyler Perry is missing the message. I feel like I can't say no, that's a very strong word. Many of the critics from the community is not about the stories he is telling, it's about the rinse and repeat of how he tells these stories, right? So he is not challenging. He is not innovative. He is not. I had to watch Do the Right Thing like 2 or 3 different times to catch different messages from that movie, which still even makes it relevant even today. It is about us in the community it is asking him to elevate his storytelling and not doing the rinse and repeat. You're changing the character, you're changing the storyline, but you're not necessarily artistically changing how you make movies. There's a place for that, how he has always made movies. But to be a great director and a great movie maker, you do have to evolve, and you have to be a leader in that field. So even a lot of times, great artists and directors move their audience with them as they elevate, as they evolve, as they tell a story that no one can predict what's getting ready to happen. And we love that. We love that. It's not like the community does not support Tyler Perry. People in the community support Tyler Perry. But the thing is that they want him to evolve intellectually as far as the stories that he produced that do reflect our everyday life. Nobody has a problem with that. He missing the message. He missing it. He missing what the people who support him is asking for. No one is saying that he needs to stop telling our individual stories. I don't think that that's what people are saying. They're saying you need to evolve and elevate your direction on how you produce and create these movies, because we can always predict the end. If I can, it's just if I can watch last year's movie and still come up with the end on this year's movie, they're pretty much the same. And I'm not intellectually challenged with that. So to say uppity Negroes and that kind of thing, you missing your blessing, because Tyler Perry has been blessed, but there's another level that he is missing out on if he would just listen and just miss the word of being critic, but hear that your audience is looking for more from you. And there's nothing wrong with that.
I like that, Leo. I think he's missing the point. And I think not only is he missing the point, he talking about a highbrow Negro. it him telling us that we should accept somebody that could just pay the light bill. What, in my opinion, like, I mean, what, he's missing the point. He's being disrespectful. In my opinion, your thoughts?
And he the highbrow Negro.
That part. That part. That part.
So Tyler Perry is a combination of a person that's getting in their own way. He wants to sound profound at every corner of this plane, and he sounds stupid and ignorant. To sit here and tell somebody, first of all, to sit here and tell a group of black women that you should strive for somebody who can only pay your light bill is saying you're not worth more than that. Okay, so if you find a man that can only pay your light bill, that's all that you need, because that's all that you aspire to. BS. Okay, I'm worth more than that. Okay, and my daddy wouldn't let me go for nothing less than that. I say shame on you, because as a black man that's making movies, then you should be giving them black men some jobs so they can up their game, and we won't have to worry about a man just paying your light bill and taking you out on a couple of dates. As far as his talk with Keke Palmer, let's be clear. He hates to be criticized in any lane. Okay, first of all, your job when you put something out there is to take the constructive criticism, whether you like it or not. Okay, people are gonna talk, they're gonna give you their opinions, but the fact that he has to sit here and now, because we don't appreciate his art the way he does, he sits here and tell us we highbrow. Well, maybe you highbrow. When was the last time you checked the temperature? And the last time I checked, God blessing all of us. He ain't just blessing you.
You better talk.
You getting in your own way, and you gonna be dismissive, and you gonna miss your blessing, because God said what I got for you is for you. So why are you sitting here trying to make your fans feel less than and drive them away from you, instead of sitting there taking it and saying, I'll try to do better the next time? Maybe you was too quick to get that blessing and you don't respect it. Now God may take that thing away. Choo choo.
The Don, you're up.
Brother Tyler, just because you lay hands on Bishop T.D. Jakes does not give you transmigration. You don't have the power of Christ. Neither does Bishop Jakes. You can't cause things to happen in the atmosphere under the heavens. You don't have the power to make things live or die. So I need you to calm your nerves. Just as fast as you went up, you can go down. Remember, you were living in your car at one time. But things can be taken away from you. So you call us, beneath you, the highbrow Negroes. That's what you seem to cast yourself as, because you don't want anybody writing with you. You don't want people getting those writer credits. You want to be the only person getting that executive producer, writer credit on all of your films. All of your films say Tyler Perry presents Medea. Tyler Perry presents such and such. And I understand that you want your credit is your work. I get that. However, you don't want anybody at the top with you. And there are people who said that you've paid them the highest amount. But your films are, since the first 3 or 4 have come out, all of them have been repetitive. Like Diva said, Medea 17, 18, and 19. They've all been the same. And you don't even have to get to the end of the movie to know what's going to happen. Even your TV shows are repetitive. All of them. And this last movie, Rotten Tomato gave it a 0. I've never seen that before. I've never seen Rotten Tomato give a movie a 0. And you say that black women have to settle for a black man, just to pay a light bill. And black women, if you're single out there, you don't have to settle for a black man just paying a light bill. Maybe you got to get you a white man.
Oh, come on, talk to the people now.
Or a Chinese man.
Oh, come on.
Or an Indian man.
Come through, dark.
Or an African man.
Come on now.
Or a Hawaiian man.
Come on.
Or a Canadian man. Or some other man out there. Don't just settle for a brother who can do the minimum. Why would you want to have that for the rest of your life? That is that what you're worth? Tyler created a broken home as a millionaire.
Oh, woo.
As a billionaire. He created a broken home. So we don't want to take advice from someone who's a billionaire and purposefully created a broken home. So let's
amen.
Let's get someone who has some credibility under their belt to give us some how-to on how to create a good foundation when it comes to relationships. Because his son goes from home to home as a billionaire. Can you imagine that? Not having your parents in the same house purposefully. Maybe it's because you didn't want the woman.
The Don has spoken. And thanks for being in the building. Sometimes you got to go outside the box. He telling us to stay in the gutter and just watch his movies. And whatever he put on that screen, he said you need to like it. And hopefully your man, while you watching my movie, hopefully your man can take you out to dinner every now and then. Katrina, you're up.
I don't even know how to go after this one. He's telling us to settle for the black man or whatsoever. But all your movies, the black men treat the women like crap.
Woo!
And they have to rise above and do everything themselves. Every one of his movies, these women get treated like crap. So I don't have to settle for just nothing when they get treated that way. And he's talking about he don't want any more writers. He need more writers. He need to put more money into production and get rid of them ugly wigs. Their hairstyles are crazy or a mess for it to be his production. But the thing of it is, he need to just to settle on his household and worry about, like LaDon said, his child. And let the black people or the white people or the black women that got to go out, and he said they make more money. Well, that's a good thing, because don't no woman want to be dependent on nobody but themselves. So if he can handle that, then we're good. But he needs to stop making his movies as all the black women get mistreated by the black man, and they got to rise above to do what they got to do for themselves. So what is he talking about? You writing one thing, but you're saying another. You're talking out of both sides of your neck. And that's ridiculous and sad. That's all I got.
Thank you. Felicia, you're up.
Thank you, Diva. And thank you, the Don. And good evening, everybody. Listen, I was feeling a little low down, but praise God, the Don is up here and read that piece of crap down there in Georgia like he needed to be. Yes, he did. While we were talking, I said, well, there's excellent points being made here. So I did a little research on the top 10 white directors in America. And so, of course, they give you a whole bunch of names, but they got Martin Scorsese, and Francis Ford Coppola, Alfred Hitchcock, Stanley Kubrick, David Lynch, George Lucas, blah, blah, blah. And I ain't never heard none of them come out and tell these white women what they should be settling for.
Oh.
Okay? Not a one. Now, somebody come up in the chat and tell me, show me a quote where they got up here and told their number one supporters.
Come on now.
Giving them a kind of lifestyle that they can appreciate and not have to be in the quote struggle about who to choose and who to pick and what you better settle for. But of course, Black women, and I'm talking about foundationally Black American women. I don't care what we do, what we eat, where we go, what we wear, who we have, who we love, who we don't love. It seems to be a problem for everybody. Even when we spend our money and support you from sleeping into the car to your $1.4 billion net worth. Now, thank you for showing that clip again, Diva. Because I know exactly who he's talking about sitting up on that couch. He's talking about Oprah and Gayle. Now, they're desperate for friends. They ain't got nobody else to hang out with but him. The man who created a broken home, a would-be single parent. According to Christian Key, he's got a whole list of men on the down low he paying. Don't pay nobody, okay? And he's telling me, that I'm a highbrow. So I said, well, what the heck is a highbrow? Because we know I appreciate words. So a highbrow is someone who is into the creative arts, into reading, intellectual kind of stimulation. And then you have a lowbrow. So when I'm listening to Tyler and he's saying, well, I'm not going to have some highbrow Negroes. Let's be clear. Did we hear the word he used? He didn't say folks, people, patrons, what? No, he said Negroes. Okay. Tell him what he can and cannot make after they created a net wealth for him of probably $800-900 million. We get into these political fights. We get into these emotional fights. No, it's time to tell Tyler we done. Stop supporting someone who's not supporting you. He doesn't support you in his personal life because the Don is so right. He done created a broken family. He's Ubering the baby back and forth, because he got other things to do. And I'm tired of him having in the script for these women that he hired on the film that the first thing you got to go out there and tell people is, Tyler paid me what I was worth. Girl, I don't even know how you come to that number that he paid you what you was worth. And talking about worth, he's valued at $1.4 billion. His donations and contributions come to 0.00012 of his wealth. Okay? Because I did the math. So he's not giving back other than telling you where to spend your money, how to remain in poverty, and to continue to support him when he doesn't support you. I'm done.
I appreciate you, Felicia. He's telling us to stay in poverty because the only one that's blessed is him. He's the only one that's blessed. Because if you notice at the end of that speech, when he told us to settle for the light bill, and if he could take you out for a meal every now and then, he said, if you got anything on your wish list, he said, God bless you and may heaven look and smile upon you. So that's telling you I'm the only one that God is in the business of being given a blessing to.
So I would also, I support you, Diva. I see here increase says Tyler's paid many people's bills and funerals. I'm going to go back again. His net worth, his value is 1.4 billion. In total, in 2023, he donated about $412,000 to charity. I'm done.
I appreciate you. Julius, you're up. Hit the like button, people. Hit the like button. We talking here. We keeping it 100 like we always do. We support our people to the bitter end. Our people can leave our community, stomp in our face, and then when they down in the gutter, we'll still support them. We'll welcome them back in. But he's spit in our face constantly. Go ahead, Julius.
Oh, Tyler. As I was watching his video now, one person we know she's not well liked, but she was telling the truth about Tyler. I'm not going to mention her name. And that whole little video montage he did just proves it. Yeah. I'm all set with him.
Tony M., you're up.
Yes, Diva. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
Okay, Diva. First things first. I caught your video earlier today, regarding this, and I just want to point out this. Tyler Perry is angry and upset, not with us highbrow Negroes, because it wasn't us highbrow Negroes who gave him a 0% from Rotten Tomatoes.
Talk. You better talk. Come on now.
It was the predominantly white people who won Rotten Tomatoes who gave him the 0%.
Mm-hmm.
He's lashing out on the wrong people.
Come on.
Now, let's go back to the beginning with Tyler Perry when he came out with Medea.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in the beginning, I supported him. I liked the Medea plays and I liked the movies. Mm-hmm. There was a message, and we all have somebody in our family like a Medea.
Right.
Okay. And there's nothing wrong with that. But it is alleged, and I'm going to say alleged, that Tyler Perry stole the Medea idea from an actor named Joe Taylor, who resides in Atlanta, who was given an invite. He gave Tyler Perry an invite to go to a show. Tyler Perry sees the show Miss Sophia. And before you know it, he comes out with Medea.
Mm-hmm.
Allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly on that one.
Yeah, yes. Uh-huh.
But I've studied screenwriting. Mm-hmm. This is what I really want to do with the rest of my life. But I haven't made it yet. If you notice, most of his shows are on the OWN network.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is his benefactor? Who do you think is supporting him? Who do you think puts him on the air and keeps him on the air? His buddy Oprah. So when you look at that relationship, I go back to Monique. It was Monique who told us about what Tyler Perry is really like. And she came with receipts. I would not discount ever anymore what Monique had to say about Tyler Perry. But notwithstanding, his talent as a screenwriter, in my opinion, is awful. His dialogue writing is predictable. I don't even know how he gets on the air, let alone stays on the air, except for Oprah. His work would never, ever see the light of day, his TV work, on a mainstream network or even on like Netflix or Apple TV. It's not good. And people like this, and there's a lot to say about Tyler, Gayle King, and Oprah Winfrey. They tend to have this subtle reverse dislike of members of their own race by what they do. Okay? So when Rotten Tomatoes, ran by white people, gave him a 0% on his last movie, he's going to take out the anger and blame on us. That's very narcissistic. And it also, to me, shows the internal psychology of this man, who I believe has a somewhat reverse racist view of his own race. If you look at his work, the darker skinned people were always the villains, and the medium brown to lighter skinned people are always the angelic, good hero people. All right? He tends to do that a lot. It's a common theme, and he's been called out for that. So, and he doesn't like to hire writers for his shows because it's already been publicized that he doesn't like to pay them the standard fees that he has to pay according to the Writers Guild of America. So he tends to want to do everything on his own, and he fails. But he stays on the air because his benefactor, Oprah, keeps him on the air. He's not very good. He is, in my opinion, a fraud. But nevertheless, I just think when I heard the comment of the highbrow Negro, because to me that word Negro is the real N-word. You know what I'm saying? I won't say it on the air, but I was personally offended. That's why I responded to your video today. But we all need to take a good look at who gave him the 0%. It wasn't us.
Come on now.
It was the predominant white people who run Rotten Tomatoes. That's all I wanted to say.
I appreciate you. Came through tonight. E, you're up.
Hey. So the only reason I watched the movie is because it was included in Prime. I just want to be clear. Had it been something out of the pocket for me, other than what I was already giving to Amazon, he would not have gotten a view from me. Just be clear. A lot of his work, in my opinion, is nasty spell work. I don't have a problem with him calling people highbrow Negroes. He just told you he grew up witnessing Black people hold positions in hospitality and in-home care aides, maids, and babysitting, and then he mentioned slavery. So I don't have a problem with him describing an infer collection of people, including me, as highbrow either. I work hard, just like you, Diva. I deserve everything I have, and God has also blessed me to have the things that I do. So I am not ashamed to voice out loud that the stories which Tyler displays on screen are not my story. Tyler does not tell my story. I do not identify with a lot of his work, and I am highbrow, and that means that my palette is so diverse, I cannot lower my awareness of what art is and look at a Tyler Perry production and call it a masterpiece. I can't do that because it's garbage. And just like Trump, I believe Tyler loves the poorly educated. Tyler loves people to support him who will not catch holes in his storylines, who will not ask more questions, who will not give thoughtful critique. And again, I don't have a problem with Tyler using the N-word either. As long as I can call him the B-word, that's the kind of talk I like. I like that right there. Now, Tyler has also built his base off of the backs of Black women, which many people before me on the panel have said, and Christian Black women. It's a targeted demographic, and he is trying to appeal, and has done a successful job at it, of appealing to middle-aged Black women and older, single women, the majority who are mildly to morbidly obese and who watch OWN Network and BET. Now, his messaging has evolved over the years to incorporate battered and broken women and children of neglectful and abusive mothers. characters without fathers in the home, that sort of thing. That's what he showcases, and he tells the stories from a great grandparent's perspective. And I say this because we have to look at the characters he casts. He writes all of these characters, but they all cater to that great grandparent perspective in the movie, the Medea, the Uncle Joe, or whoever the hell is that he has. So those characters and those women, they don't speak like me. Tyler doesn't speak like me. Even himself, when you listen to that video that you played in the beginning, and he is giving Black women advice, man advice, and he is giving relationship advice to single women as a single man himself. He is giving us advice on something that he has not conquered and mastered in his own personal life, right? So, I take exception with that, because last time I checked, Tyler has not admitted to the public that he also dates men. So who is he to tell a woman to accept a man who can only pay a light bill? Tyler cannot tell me as a woman how I should engage with men romantically. There is no space for that. And I believe somebody touched on it previously. If we were to listen to the infer comments from the Shade Room, a certain someone let us all know that Tyler was paying more than the light bill from that check that was written to him, Miss Mamas. So when Kiki also said in the video that you played that she appreciates Tyler sticking to his format and being his authentic self, I could not believe that she used that word authentic, because how can Tyler be his authentic self when he is living a dual lifestyle and is balancing female and male energies unsuccessfully?
Allegedly.
Well,
Right.
I didn't. Allegedly, he's balancing female and male energies unsuccessfully. And I've seen the Black men that he casted in Divorcing the Black, and I know he didn't cast them for me. Of all the Black male actors out there that I know from Atlanta, I know some of these people, and these were the only men who you could find to play in heterosexual relationships. Tyler, find you somebody else to play with. This is why it comes across as insulting if the message is truly meant for middle and low class women from a high class earning man, heterosexual man. And his advice is so outdated, it's so obtuse. And the single women, because he mentioned the hardworking beauticians and the in-home providers, the maids and daycare providers, so on and so on. If these are the jobs and the stories that he is telling, as he described in the beginning, how would suggesting to that demographic that settling for a man who can only pay the light bill will improve their life or offer some enjoyment in being content with that? It's spell work. And the Black women who follow him fall for it every time.
Y'all killing it tonight. Tay, you're up.
Well, hello everybody. We all know about Tyler Perry. Remember the first time, way back in those days, when he wanted to get his mama a car? When she said she see that car right there. That's the first part right there. And then after that, he made movies. He write plays. My question is, why now you ain't not hire writers to write all your stuff right there, Tyler? And that he changed his last name so that way he could be Tyler Perry instead of his real original birth name on that birth paper right there too. Let's bring some facts too. Tyler Perry knows every time he talk about Black woman, is think about his home where he live at right there. I am sick and tired hear him say about this and that. I really am. Tyler, we all want different stuff. Stop bringing your character over and over and over. And my question is why you not married to your baby mama in the first place? I'm right my eyebrow too at you, Tyler Perry. And you tell that you ain't talk about your child. How long has it been you ain't talk about your child, Tyler Perry? I'm tired, Tyler Perry diva. I really am. That's all.
I appreciate you. You know what's interesting though? Would he tell his son? Would he be okay with his son dating someone who, you know, didn't really make a lot of money or didn't have a name for themselves or so forth and so on? See, the people, they kill me when they get to a certain level and they feel everybody that is not at that level, y'all just go ahead and keep settling for less. Y'all just go ahead and don't try to rise above. If you got a message for a brother, tell a brother I did it and so can you. Keep pounding, keep working. So when you find that special person that you love, you will be able to support her, take care of her, and do for her. Not just you lay around, wait for my next movie to come out on Prime. Do you know Prime costs money every month? Prime is not free. So you want to direct me to a man that could just pay the light bill, but your movie is on Prime and you want me to support you. You got to make that nonsense make sense. And listen, he's not the only one where people said it's repetitive. They said the same thing about Eddie Murphy's movie that just came out on Netflix. They said Axel Foley, his movie, didn't give us anything surprising or new.
But if he preaches about being of God, God wanted you to be a leader, right? He wants you to be provoke change. So what are you doing with God's message that is in your heart that is keeping you from going to hell if you're doing the same thing that the white man is doing in his movies for our community, and you have your own studio and you write your own movies? What is this?
Talk. You better talk. And he said, you're not going to tell me have a balance. We're not trying to tell you, but what we are telling you is you could do that particular story, but it's repetitive. It was nothing shocking. Once the dad, if you saw the movie, once the dad brought the weapons over to her house, I already knew what was going to happen. I could have sat there and wrote the end with him. I knew what was going to happen. I said, okay, I see how this is going and where this is going. Now, outside of that, I will say, Corey, what's his last name? He played that role. He played that role. He was scary as heck. He played that role. So, and that's, I think, what saved the movie somewhat, is the fact that Corey played that role to the T. He embodied it. He became that person.
That's because he didn't have to do much acting. He was crazy in real life.
Listen, 48, thank you for the super chat. I truly appreciate you. Yeah, so, but what I'm saying is, Tyler Perry, do better. Do better. So we're going to go ahead and move on to this next story. And the next story is the facts of life. And the facts of life is people are scary, they selfish, they're greedy, and they think about just themselves. So one of the stars from the Facts of Life did a podcast. You know, it's something too about when the people put the mic in front of people, they get to talking. But my thing is she half talked. If you're going to put it out there, you're going to say it, and you're going to be bold enough to talk about it, then talk to us, baby girl. Talk to us. So let's get into this Facts of Life story. So Facts of Life star Mindy Cohn says a greedy bee in the cast ruined the revival of the show. Let me just pause that. So Greed of Life, Mindy Cohn called one of her Facts of Life co-star a greedy bee while blaming the unnamed actor for sabotaging a revival of the popular 80s sitcom. She said, we got into talks and we hired a writer. The four of us got together on the Zoom. This was during COVID, and we had meetings with Norman Lear about it. She explained of the potential revival during her Wednesday appearance on Sirius XM Jeff Lewis Live. Let me see. Hold on one second. At one point, though, Cohen revealed One of the girls went behind their backs to try to make a separate deal for a spinoff deal just for herself. The Pomeroy actress said the move devastated the cast. I'm just saying, for a 40-year friendship and sisterhood, that's 4 decades. A 40-year friendship and sisterhood. There was a tidal wave of emotion around it, she added. Then that's when guest Michael Hitchcock chimed in saying, there's always a greedy bee. Mindy 58 was delightfully surprised by the comment and responded, you know what? Greedy bee. She was a greedy bee. She also high-fived Hitchcock. Okay, so that was dumb. Facts of Life. I love that show. That's when sitcoms were really sitcoms, and they had so many good sitcoms that you just really love to watch. Ken Fields, there's Mindy, what's the name? Nancy McKeon, and then there's Lisa. So while she declined to reveal who ruined the spinoff, Mindy confirmed it was one of the girls and suggested that the fans could make an educated guess by scanning her social media to see who she has spent time with over the last few years. One of her 3 main female co-stars were Lisa, Kim, and Nancy. Her Instagram page shows that she has socialized with the latter 2. So that means that it was Lisa, and I missed that earlier when I did a video, that she's trying to say is the one that was the greedy bee. Page 6 reached out to reps for the above-mentioned stars, but did not receive immediate responses. Mindy confirmed that the not cute drama led to some estrangement between the actresses, although time has allowed some of the wounds to heal. We didn't speak for a while, and now we do-ish, but there's definitely, it was an out, she explained. She also confirmed any chance of the Facts of Life revival is very dead. A couple of people can't move past it, don't want to move past it. We are not as united. Let me put it this way, she noted. We were united for 40 years over not talking about each other, not doing dirty, not, all for one, one for all. And this kind of wrecked that, which is sad, really sad. Facts of Life premiered in 1979 and ran for 9 seasons. It followed Miss Edie Garnett, Charlotte Ray, a house mother and dietitian at the Eastland School, who taught a group of friends, played by all of the girls, how to solve quintessential teenage problems. 40 years of friendship and greed tore it down. Marie, thank you so much for the super chat. I truly appreciate you. Thank you so much. Leo, you're up.
As one of the ones on the panel that's long in the tooth, I remember this show. I love this show. I watched it continuously, probably from season, 1 to probably 7, perhaps. And I'm glad the article mentioned Charlotte Ray, because Charlotte Ray was a very intricate part of this show. Mm-hmm. And early on, when I first read the headlines, I was thinking, oh my God, what did Kim Fields do? Because she is the one in my community, and what I think of as a person that has remained relevant through all the years was Kim Fields. She probably was somewhere on the sideline asking for more money and trying to get her a side show. But I don't really believe that it's her. I don't really believe that, because what I have watched through all the years, she is not someone who is desperate for a check. She did do Housewives. She still was offered a new season after her, lackluster season in Housewives, and she just wouldn't do it because it ain't her skit. It's not her thing. It's not her stick. It's not what she do. She's actually a great actress, and she doesn't have to do, as Tyler Perry would say, highbrow. I would say lowbrow. She don't have to do lowbrow things, and she's not ready to stab a 40-year friendship in the back for a check. So I do think it's Lisa, because Lisa is also on a TV Land show, and now recently that's a very popular show, not very, but a semi-popular show on old memorabilia of toy I want to say Avatar toys that are back in the 80s and 90s replicas of old TV shows. So she's doing a particular show where people auction these toys that they are collectors of, and she's a part of that show. I think she's the host of that show where they hunt down people who have old replicas or old toy dolls of old shows, and people are willing to eBay and pay top dollar for those shows. So she thinks she higher than what's really going on. But as far as the people will stab you in the back for $1, they really will. Folks that you've been getting down with for years will stab you in the back for a whole new contract if they think they're getting ready to be on the door of stardom and fame, right? So, to be relevant, right? So she's ready. Somebody in that group thinking that they could use this show to be once again relevant again, probably did do that. I like Mindy Cohn. She always been true to who she is. The fact that she came on the show and they gave her a mic and she started telling what really happened, but did tell the whole story. I see you though, Mindy, but you should have told us the whole story. You should have told us the whole story. Mm-hmm. You should have. If you're going to tell it, tell it.
If you're going to tell it. Or not, leave it on the table, right? Thank you, Leo. In my opinion, you're up.
The takeaway from this story is be careful who you call your friend, because some people are there only to steal your spotlight when they can.
Woo! Woo! Well, okay, in my opinion. Whoa, you threw it on the side and then you left. Tony M.
Yes, Diva.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I'm a little disappointed with because I like the Facts of Life when I was growing up. That was a fun show to watch, and I kind of feel like before the Facts of Life, there was Kim Fields on Good Times. So I go way back to that point with Kim Fields, and she would have made a great executive producer on the show. Isn't it true though? It was Nancy McKeon who ruined it.
Well, that's the rumor.
Okay.
No, not Nancy McKeon. No, the rumor is Lisa, the one that played Blair.
Oh, Blair. Okay, I remember her. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay, if that is indeed the case, I can't see how she could carry her own show doing her own thing, because she hasn't been relevant for the last 30 plus years on American television. Mm-hmm. Kim Fields has. She's doing the Upshaws now. But this is a show where collectively speaking, these 4 women need to come together and get over there. I'm the biggest star. I deserve to have my own show. Not everybody can carry a show. All right. So, but I am disappointed that it ruined it for Mindy Cohn, because I used to like her. She was Natalie, and she was the bubbly one. And it was a fun show that taught good life lessons, and it would have been nice to see where their characters are at today, because you can do a reboot. Just on a side note, though, as a screenwriter myself, I do have an idea for a different world to come back as a Netflix style show. But anyways, I'm working on that separately. But it is disappointing to see that one individual sank an opportunity for everybody else. So.
Yeah, you better maybe hit those stars up in their Instagram now, and see if you can get a connection. I think I would love to see that, a different world, little comeback, little reboot. Katrina, you're up.
Yeah, all these most of these 70 in comedy shows had things like that. Just like Three's Company. You know, when Three's Company came out, John Ritter was supposed to be the star, but everybody was favoring Suzanne Somers. So, you know, I think when she was on there, what, 2 seasons, then the next season she left because of her husband wanted her to make more money because everybody thought that she was star of the show. Okay, you have Good Times. James left because he felt like Michael and Thelma wasn't getting the appreciation they needed because people was focusing on JJ, even though he was the goof off and the one that wasn't that smart in school, but he was an artist. But he felt like people should have been focusing on Thelma and Michael. So I mean, you have these shows, and you know Nancy McKeon brother played on Alice. He was Alice's son, but he died I think like 3 years ago or something like that. But either way, they always had people competing, like who was the popular person, who was that. But Kim Fields has got a network of 10 million. I think Nancy has two. Lisa have three. I think, if I'm not mistaken. So, but Lisa was on Survivor. She didn't last long, but she was on Survivor, I think like 4 seasons ago. But either way, I wish they would come back with the Facts of Life because you know it put out a lot of stars like Molly Ringwald and all of them. I wish they would bring those shows back because those were some of the good comedies. Silver Spoons, Good Times, Facts of Life, Three's Company, Sanford and Sons, The Jeffersons. I mean, you know, the list goes on and on. We was packed and we didn't, I mean, the comedies was comedies. They was funny. You're going to get a laugh out of it. I mean, but who knows? Maybe they'll reboot it. Maybe they get back together, but we'll just have to see. That's all I got, Diva.
I appreciate you. Felicia, you're up.
Well, thank you, Diva. You know, one of the things I've been talking about in terms of numerology this year is to protect your resources. So you're talking about a 40-year friendship, but if the money wasn't right, the money wasn't right. Maybe she wanted more money. Maybe she wasn't getting the highest amount of money. So we don't know what was going on in contract negotiations. So the others feel that, you know, we had a 40-year friendship and this happened. Oh, no, I'm with opinion. You know, let's be a little bit more mindful about who we call a friend and why. In terms of looking for work, I think we are all seeing in terms of this medium, people are looking to bring in income. And so however they can get it, they're going to work on it and bring it in. So maybe they'll do it without her. Maybe they'll get a look-alike. We don't know what she really looks like how many years later. Do we really care? I don't think so. I'm done.
Thank you, Felicia. E, you're up.
So I've never heard of this show, never saw it. But I know Kim Fields from Living Single reruns. So if I had to comment, I guess it would be, I don't understand why one person is holding up production or how they're giving this one person so much credit as to sabotage the show. Similar to what Felicia said, recast the person and stay the course. If this is truly the calling that you have and this is something you want to see come to fruition, how can one person ruin the show for everybody else? Unless the person was the Beyonce of the cast. I don't know. Was this person the main attraction?
She wasn't the main, well, she kind of sort of was because she was the spoiled brat on the show.
Yeah, they all played a role. I mean, they all meshed together. Like one gun is not gonna go right. It really isn't.
I won't. Yeah, it wouldn't. Because I'm gonna say this with the reboot of Sex and the City, the one who plays Samantha, the fans keep, because I'm gonna say it. The reboot is on HBO Max. I want to say it's called in like that, and some, I forgot, they named it something different. But anywho, all the fans kept calling for is for Samantha to come back. And they delayed the reboot for years because they was really trying to get the real life, like I forgot her name in real life. They was really trying to get Samantha and Sarah Jessica Parker to work out their differences.
Kim Cattrall.
Thank you, Kim. Yeah, thank you, Katrina. Rebels, yes, and it's called, and just like that, they and the fans kept saying they want Samantha back, And Kim Cattrall was being a bitch. She just wouldn't. And my thing is, when people say that I can't do it because I don't get along with them, I'm saying, well, what is acting about? If I'm a true actress, I wouldn't give a darn unless you were convicted or something like that. I don't give a darn who you are. Give me the script. When you say lights, camera, action, I'ma do my thing, and I don't gotta speak to you after that.
Correct.
Well, I think that when these people are coming from such a high status economically, they could care less about the money. But I saw somebody say Girlfriend should do a reboot. So if we're throwing out which shows we want to be rebooted, I'm going to say Greenleaf needs to come back. So that's the best thing that happened to OWN. But that's all, Diva.
I appreciate you. Come on, Special K, and eat you a baby. She said she ain't hear nothing about no facts of life. That's so funny. Special K, come on, make the money. Listen, in real life, y'all know I always do Target, Walmart, Macy's, wherever you work at. In real life, who gets along with every single last one of their co-workers? I don't know one. So you figure that thing out and you make the money. But I think what the problem was here is that chick right there, it wasn't really about recasting her. It was about you cutting and being slick and sly and going behind the people back and trying to cut you a side deal and go do a spinoff. Can you at least wait till we get this thing right here before you do a spinoff? You messy. 40 years of friendship, and that's what you're going to do? Tay, you're out.
Well, I would eat. I never watched that movie before. I mean, that TV show too. But I remember that cast who did the what you call different stroke. What's her name? Start the C word, Diva.
What show, Tay?
Different stroke.
Oh,
It's
different
that
show.
lady. Yes, ma'am. I remember one of the cast played on that TV show right there. The one they said
You
she
talking about
passed
Tootie?
away.
Oh, you talking about Mrs. Garrett?
Yeah.
Charlotte Ray.
Yeah,
Ray.
Charlotte
She
Ray.
said the
You know, she
Yeah,
C
played
word.
Mrs.
Charlotte
Garrett.
Charlotte
Ray.
Ray.
Yep. And tell her that after all the 4 years, my question is, what you was my really friend, or you just wanted to have more money and then turn on my back so you be a snake? That's what it is. Ask me a question right there. After all those years, I had your back. I make sure you have food, table, roof on your head. Make sure we pay the rent together. And this how you do to me right here. So you be like, it's all about me on the movie. I mean, a TV show right there. So you can be a star right there. The question is, do you really care about me? Probably not. That's all, Diva.
Oh, I like that, Tay. Do you really care about me? We supposed to be friends. Do you really care about me? Now, there's a movie called A Notebook. I love that movie. Those two co-stars, the people that played the stars, the male and the female, they said they did not get along to the point where they couldn't stand each other. But if you ever seen the movie The Notebook, you would never get that from the movie. You
Well,
would
Aunt B
never
couldn't
get that.
stand Andy Griffith, but they played together. You would never thought they didn't like each other.
Which one, Katrina?
On the Andy Griffith show with
Okay.
Andy Griffith and Aunt the one that played Aunt B, Frances Bieber, I think her name is. But she didn't like him. She couldn't stand Andy, but you could never tell on the way they act. That's what you call acting. You know what I mean? So
That part. Julius, you're right.
With the underhand. Now I have heard of the Facts of Life, but I never once watched it. Like I know of Ken Fields from In Living Single. But I have heard of Facts of Life when they used to talk about like the throwback shows and stuff like that. onto the underhandedness at the topic at hand. Why not see if the reboot would be a launch first before going to do your side deal? See if the reboot could be a hit first. And if it's not, then you could go ahead and negotiate your side deal. Why be sneaky? Then you would have had the support of your friends. But now, because they've been knowing each other for decades, that person who was being sneaky severed all of that over nothing.
Over nothing. Come on now, over nothing. I appreciate you, Julius. You know, it's messy. And now she's being exposed to the world. Let's see if she comes out and says something and maybe make a comment and tell her side of the story. Okay. But either way, we're going to roll into our last story. So our last story is Apollo got arrested for allegedly putting his hands on his wife. They got into a scuffle over cheating. You know, this cheating is going to be the death of the people. The cheating in the cell phone. Every time we hear something crazy, it's a cell phone involved, and now it's some cheating. Jonathan Majors went through it and almost got locked up over some cheating in a cell phone. Now here go Apollo. He accused his wife of cheating on him. She accused him of cheating. They got into a scuffle over a cell phone. She called the cops. He left. He got arrested. He posted bond. Now she said, we good. She said, we good. When a man puts his hands on you, the first time, believe it ain't going to be the last and you need to go. She said they went to counseling and all is well now. Let me share a screen. And my computer just being slow today, y'all. So now where they find that picture of Phaedra? I'm gonna beat them, but we're gonna carry on. Roa's star Phaedra Parks' ex-husband Apollo Nida arrested for assault after his wife calls the cops. So Real Housewives of Atlanta star Phaedra Parks' ex-husband Apollo Nida was arrested after his wife Shireen accused him of getting physical with her. In Touch can exclusively state. According to the court documents obtained by In Touch, Shireen called the police on Apollo. He's 45 on March 11th. The police report says Shireen, listed as Shireen Coates, told officers that she had just come home from a bar with friends and had 3 alcoholic drinks. She said they started having a verbal argument about how they were cheating on each other. Okay. Shireen said during the argument, Apollo showed her a video of her kissing another man. Now he had a video. The report said she said Apollo pulled her by her hair and pushed her against the refrigerator. Shireen said the two proceeded to get into a scuffle. She said she ran outside and called for help. She said she went back inside to get her phone and Apollo had left. Police said Shireen showed them surveillance video of the verbal altercation. However, they said it did not show the physical altercation. Apollo showed up to the home and spoke to officers. He claimed that while they were arguing, he tried to take the phone from her. He said that while trying to take the phone, she balled up on the ground to protect her phone, and Apollo said he took her phone. He said she ran outside to call for help, but he came outside to give her back the phone. Officer says Shireen declined medical attention at the scene. The report noted she did not have any marks. That's what the report noted, or bruises that showed she was in a physical altercation. Apollo was placed into custody and charged with DV and simple assault. He was transported to the local jail and processed. Jail records obtained by In Touch show Apollo posted a $3,000 bond and was released hours after being booked. Last month, prosecutors charged Apollo with 1 misdemeanor count of simple battery, family violence. A hearing took place last month, but the court records do not indicate if Apollo entered a plea or has hired an attorney. The charging document read, Keith Solicitor General of the County of Fulton, State of Georgia, in the name and on behalf of the citizens of Georgia, do hereby charge and accuse Apollo Edward Nida with the offense of simple battery, family violence, a misdemeanor for that said accused in the County of Fulton, State of Georgia, on about March 11, 2024. Did intentionally make physical contact of an assaulting and provoking nature with the person of Shireen, who is the present spouse of accused, by pulling her by the hair and pushing her. Shireen tells In Touch, it was a huge blowout between a married couple that has brought us much closer since then. So the man that grabbed her hair, pushed her up against the refrigerator, tried to take her phone, she cheating on him, he cheating on her, and she said that experience has drawn them closer. We worked through our issues and have been going to couples therapy. And she said, the end. Last year, Apollo asked the court to terminate his probation in federal criminal case earlier. In 2014, he was sentenced to 8 years in prison for bank fraud and identity theft. He was facing up to 30 years in prison before reaching a plea deal. Phaedra filed for divorce while Apollo was locked up. Apollo was sentenced to serve an additional 5 years on probation after his release in 2019. In his plea, Apollo argued he had turned his life around. Prosecutors opposed the request. The judge ended up denying the request. As In Touch previously reported, Phaedra is in talks to return to the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Leo, your thoughts?
Girl, we need us a show. We need Paulo and Peter Thomas. We need Ralph. We need all them to come through, and Simon, because they got a show. They really got a show. So seriously though, they do have a show. But seriously though, it is amazing to me when Peter Thomas come up in the headlines. They show the ex-wife of Cynthia Bailey from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. They do the same thing with Apollo when he come up in the headlines. Oh, listen, it is Phaedra Parks, the ex-husband of Phaedra Parks, come up through the headlines. They connect these men with these women to this show. What you say, City Girls up? Okay, so what I will say with this is that I do believe that things are going wrong in their marriage, because I feel like she was a fangirl from the prison, and Apollo married her straight out from the prison because Phaedra had cut him loose. The fact, and it's just this small piece, right? The small piece. The fact that he showed up for Phaedra at the Married to Medicine reunion, that says a lot to me. Yes. Because if you got a whole wife to the house, why are you doing this? That did not make sense to me. Like, why are you doing this? He is not all in his marriage. That's what it says to me. So these type of things, with him being a volatile and an aggressive person that we did see on the Housewives show when he showed up at the Phaedra house when they were separating, he is very aggressive. So I don't doubt the fact that some aggressive things happen in this relationship. But, like I said, put it on the TV so I can see it. Because it is Apollo is definitely aligned with the type of person that Phaedra is. And this is Shireen, she is not the type of person that Phaedra is. Phaedra she ain't gonna scream at you, she ain't gonna swing on you, but she will hit you with them sharp words. And I think Shireen is a different type of person. I think she probably is bombastic. She probably does scream and holler on him. I think they both are cheating on each other. I think that the whole thing from the beginning, from when he was locked up and they got together, it was a slight to Phaedra, saying, I got me a whole nother woman. We get ready to be together. We get ready to be married. I don't think she about that life the same way Phaedra is. I just don't think. She ain't that type of gangster. And it is in a lot of ways, she don't know how to handle a man like Apollo. She don't know how to handle him. Phaedra knew how to handle him. He came there. The last episode I seen with Apollo and Phaedra, he came there to be shish boomba, rah, rah, rah. And she didn't even play into it. She already knew who he was and knew how to handle him. She don't know how to handle a man like Apollo. So I believe all of this. Girl, you telling us that y'all going to counseling and y'all closer now. Y'all, you need to quit telling us these lies. We getting ready to see at the end of the year that he gonna be the one to file for divorce, and you get ready to be out because he ready to hit them streets and do him. You don't know how to handle him. He ready to be gone. He ready to be gone, and I don't deny the fact that he probably was overly aggressive with her, because as long as the article did not say to me that he beat her down and caused a extensive amount of bodily harm to her, he was overly aggressive with her, and she should call the police. They not equally matched, and this union is not gonna stand. It's not gonna stand at all, and I look forward to seeing him on Married to Medicine on their next reunion. That's all I got, Diva.
Listen, they was tussling just like Jonathan Majors and Grace Jabari. They was tussling over that cell phone. The cell phone is the darn devil for some of these people. They was
and he is overly aggressive, and he don't need to engage in any of that type of behavior because somebody gonna get hurt. He need to stop it. And it's gonna be him. He the one gonna have the repercussions of that. But she don't know how to handle that man.
No, she don't. But also too, he was stewing over the fact, because remember they said he showed her a video of her kissing another guy. So he was stewing over that for a minute. So then when she showed up, it was on and popping. And you know, he probably asked
yes,
her,
it was.
You cheating? You cheating?
Yes, it was.
And she was like, no, I'm not cheating. And then he showed her the video. And
you know what? He cheating too, though, Diva.
No, I know,
he
but that's
cheating
why she
too.
told the cops we both were cheating on each other. Because see, at first she was going to act like she wasn't cheating until he showed her the video. He said, "Here, who this be?" That's how that went down. It's like, who this right here? Who this ninja right here? So then that's when she knew she was busted too. That's why she told the cops we cheating on each other. Messy boots. But do you remember the reunion? He said, "Oh, I didn't know it was even an option for us not to get a divorce." He still loved her.
I do.
He's still
for Phaedra.
He still loved Phaedra. So you right with your thing where she ain't no match, and it ain't nothing against her. He's still in love with wife number one. In my opinion, you are.
Well, buckle your seatbelts, everybody, because I'm finna throw y'all in overdrive. Listen here. First of all, he was cheating on her when he was with Phaedra. Okay, their relationship started before he even got a divorce. Let's be clear. He did that to get at Phaedra. Okay, this whole relationship was to get at Phaedra, and when he couldn't get at her, he married her like he was doing something. Okay, first of all, you reap what you sow. Y'all put it out there. Y'all been cheating behind each other back. She is a hood rat from the Georgia slums, okay? You reap what you sow. She wanted to be out there. She wanted to be the it girl, sleeping with everybody, having babies with the hip-hop crew. You reap what you sow, okay? And she's still doing the same thing. She's spreading them legs wide, okay? I don't have no respect for her. And him neither, okay? He need to go on back to jail. They should have never let him out early. I don't know why they let him out early. He should have served all 8 of those years. And they should have added on 2 more just for doing a black woman wrong, okay? Yeah, I don't have no respect for neither one of them. Choo choo.
Felicia, you up? Oh God.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
God,
Opinion. Okay.
Mm.
How am I gonna listen? Opinion just spoke the truth. Just
Mhm.
spoke the truth.
Mhm.
And I was listening to the story. So he had footage of her kissing some guy, but she ain't said she had no footage. She didn't give no name of nobody he was with. What she said was, we went to counseling and she is more in love than ever now. The end. So, so opinion is absolutely correct. There's more A whippings to come, and she gonna keep dropping it low and spreading it wide, and telling y'all to stay out of her business. I'm the first one that's gonna back out. I'm gonna stay out of her business. I'm done.
All right, appreciate you. Tay, you up?
Poe and that woman that he had before he got with Phaedra, they both just nasty. Mr. and Mrs. Jackson, and y'all both just nasty right there. That just plain nasty and disgusting right there. And like MIP said, that Paula should stay in the jail where he at. Where he belonged to right there. Choo choo.
You're up.
Okay, so let's talk facts. So Shireen and Apollo were messing around when he was married to Phaedra. Got it. Of course, this was before he went to jail, but what difference did it make? Because Phaedra was cheating too. Phaedra was talking to two other men, and one of them was Jamal Bryant. And so this is the history. Phaedra and Apollo were cheating on each other. Now, I have my own theories as to why Apollo finds himself in this repetitive pattern with women, but I'll save that for another time. So, I'm leading up to, when you do not clean up your patterns before you move into your new marriage, those old habits follow. So now Apollo is remarried, and this new woman is cheating on him too, and he is cheating on her. Okay, because we saw Apollo on the ring camera at the other woman's house. So it's not about Shireen being able to handle him, because you have to remember, Shireen is an established one. She's more established than Apollo. Apollo's type is an established woman. And what attracted her to him, despite his poor earning potential and lack of freedom at the time, she was hoping she could spin that relationship into a career on reality TV, because Shireen and Apollo are similar in that way, where they both are attracted to lights. They are attracted to celebrity. And so, I resent the notion that, Apollo still loves Phaedra. I don't think that Apollo does not love Phaedra. Let's just say that. Apollo loves his old life with Phaedra. It's not about Phaedra, because she's a joke, and he's laughed at her a few times. It's the lifestyle that he misses. It's the mansion and it's the cars. It's the notoriety that comes with being filmed on one of Bravo's former highest rated reality shows. It's about being in the same household as his sons and not meeting at Chick-fil-A to go and pick them up. It's about not paying child support, because I didn't forget when Phaedra said on that show that she's taking care of these kids on her own, and Apollo was not even at the boy's birthday party. So it's not that he loves Phaedra. A lot of men would love to remain in the household with a woman who is more financially successful than them, affluent than them socially. As long as they don't have to do much of the lifting, they don't have to pay child support, and they can still cheat on the side. Because I have not forgotten that when he was with Phaedra, he was still going out every night. She barely saw the man, and he was spending $14,000 in the strip club. Phaedra is not his type. Had it not been for the celebrity of it all, and also, because we know that both of these women are no better than him because they engage in the same behavior as him. But I do think that it's important to know, and I'll say allegedly for Diva Show, Apollo has been violent with Phaedra. And Apollo has, I remember Andy asked Phaedra if Apollo had ever hit her, and she refused to answer the question. But Phaedra told somebody who came out and told everybody else that Apollo did do something to her. Wow. And so I don't believe that this is an isolated incident. I think that in this regard, Apollo let his jealousy get the better of him. And I don't think that Apollo is the type to be settling down. I think that all of the people who believe in open marriages and polyamory get together and let people know this in the beginning. But if Shireen is happy with it and this situation has brought them closer together, then I say, have at it. Good luck.
Thank you, E. Tony, you're up.
Thank you, Diva. What I really want to just point out is that it's sad that the children are the ones who are going to be affected by all of this. Mm-hmm. It's Apollo, like so many men, especially Black men in America, who haven't had that strict discipline upbringing, being taught how to go out and look for a woman that that you want to commit to, and show your children how to treat a woman like their mother, and then so they can go out and find a wife. You don't want the boys, especially, repeating the patterns that have been generational sins, if you know what I'm talking about.
Right, yes.
So I remember on the Real Housewives of Atlanta, I was watching an episode. Remember when they were on a vacation and Apollo and Kenya Moore were like flirting with each other? And somehow Kenya ended up on his shoulder and Phaedra caught them. It's on an episode. Mm-hmm. Not that nothing happened, but the fact that he was willing to stray like that told me right away he's not marriage material. His relationship with Phaedra is not going to work. Even though she was cheating too, she's no angel, she's no saint. You have to put your children first, especially African American children, so that we can start to reverse these generational sins, if you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. And so, unfortunately, Apollo is not a good example for his sons. And I just hope he gets the help that he needs at some point in life so he can stop and reverse. And if he has to be single, then so be it, be single. But put your children first, lead by example, stop all this cheating, because what does it profit you to cheat? Mm-hmm. This is all, my point of view on this.
Thank you. Katrina, you're up.
Yeah, Apollo he has a temper. Mm-hmm. Ever since that night that they had that little sleepover, pillow talk, whatever, and he gave Kenya friend the business. The business. Then Phaedra felt protected because some cameras was there when he came back to that house, saying that he was coming in for a screwdriver or a grill or something he was trying to get. So she felt protected because them camera was there, because they don't tell him what he would have did, knowing he was finna go to the prison anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said he spent what $5,000 a night at the strip club. So when this lady met him, they say Phaedra was Mr. Chocolate, and I guess Mr. Chocolate was supposed to be Jamal, but either or, he was cheating on her. But we never seen the evidence of Phaedra. We just heard, but we did see the evidence of him when we seen Shireen. So we can say allegedly with Phaedra because we didn't see it, but we did see him cheating with this woman. And at that point in time, she knew that Apollo was still married. So you going into this relationship with a married man, what make you think it's going to be different with you? And the second thing with the passcodes, you can put a passcode on your phone, but if you got that face recognition, all they got to do is put your phone up to your face, and it will open up your phone. So you got to be careful with that too. Either or, if they both belong together, they both picked each other. Now they both in the same little house again. So they're gonna do what they're gonna do. They're gonna tell us this and tell us that, and maybe he's doing it now because Phaedra is getting ready to be back. Started back filming. Maybe he did that so they would pick him up and put him on the show. Who knows? But we'll see. That's all I got, Diva.
Diva.
Yes.
I do want to say they did show the text messages between Phaedra and Jamal on the show, even though they called it Mr. Chocolate. And so the text message did indicate she was talking to this man, and it was an inappropriate relationship during the marriage. That is confirmed.
Yeah, that was.
I saw that when she had the little thing in her hair or whatever, and Apollo had the messages and whatsoever. But then again, she doing a text. We didn't see that person in front of our face, but we did see Apollo woman in front of our face. We seen the text. There's no lie on that. But we didn't see the man. But we saw the woman in person. Is what I'm saying.
But Jamal is not going to come. He barely came to Potomac for Giselle, so he wasn't going to come to Atlanta for Phaedra. Side chicks stay on the side.
But what I'm saying is,
okay, hold on, y'all, because y'all taking up Julia's moment. Julia's
okay.
This man needs to just put a zipper on it. Like, he's always in the news or something. I don't understand the appeal. Like RuPaul says, sashay away. Give me a break.
Thank you. Queen Tulsi, you're up.
Yes, ma'am. Are you able to hear me?
Yes.
All right. Thank you for having me. So I just wanted to say this. I don't know why we're all acting all like we don't know what's going on. Remember the time when Apollo and Kenya was flirting in the pool? So we know flirting and cheating has been his track record. Now, my thing is, there was a video of Apollo where he was at another woman's house, and it was reported sometime this year, and then now this is going. I think that it's some stunts that they're pulling just so they can get picked up, because I mean Roa has been dropping the ball, right? So they like drama. So I think it's something that they conjured up. But I said the new wife, she actually wanted to be a part of the franchise a long while ago. I don't know if you remember when Peter and Candy and Todd they all had hooked up, but she just wasn't a grab. There was nothing entertaining about her. And for the most part, I mean, she was a dud.
Yeah, thank you, Queen Tulsi. So I don't think he's going to conjure up and go to jail, especially when he's on probation and he have a record or whatever. I don't know if they're going to go that far, but who knows? But we're going to roll right into the feel good story. This story is old, but it's still very touching. I thought it was a great story. So let me share the screen and let's hear this story. Hope I didn't kick out of it. Okay, I'm there. I'm good.
Number of kids have lost a parent or primary caregiver to COVID. An estimated 200,000 and growing. Most are under 13. Some have a surviving parent, but in many families, only the children remain.
There's some days where I'm perfectly fine, and then others just want to hide under a blanket.
15-year-old Zoe and her 3 siblings lost their single mother in August. Jenny is 24.
You've gone from being big sister to, well, do you think of yourself as a mother?
I don't think I'll ever be okay to say that, but I would say I'm more of a parental figure, but mom, I don't think I can put that on my shoulders yet.
Brother Trey is 20 and helps in every way he can, contributing his full-time salary while he goes to school at night.
How is life with 3 women?
It's definitely not easy. Sometimes you need a break from, can you help me do my hair, stuff like that.
Is he any good at that, by the way?
No.
The hair? No.
But it is Jenny who's put her own school plans on hold and works as a dental assistant, who's shouldering the greatest responsibility.
So I know one of the first priorities was making sure that you got guardianship of your little sisters.
Definitely. I didn't want to take a chance of losing them.
Separated
Yes.
even in the foster care system or something.
Oh my gosh. I can't even, I don't want to think about that.
How have these 2 on the other end of the sofa been doing? Have they been stepping up?
She's impressed me, actually. Yeah.
Oh, Jenny, I wasn't expecting that.
Well, tell me why.
She gives like a mothery vibe all the time now.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like she's filling in that little hole of wanting a mother now, but she's like there. So it's like, thank you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I've never heard that. So
you're welcome.
Their mother, Cindy Dawkins, worked 2 jobs. Her kids were everything to her. Sierra is only 12 and still desperately misses her.
I always used to sleep in her room. You just like being with her?
Yeah.
She made you feel safe?
After Cindy's death, Jenny and Trey had no idea what to do. So they called a mom from Trey's high school who'd helped them in the past.
I'm looking at these 2 kids that are like deer in headlights. And all they said was, we just want to make sure we stay together.
Janie Yoshida and her husband stepped in to pay the rent for the next 6 months.
You and your husband with a safety net.
Yeah. Not easy, but I don't know what would have happened.
Did anyone from the hospital ever call you guys and say, hey, your mother's died, what can we do?
No.
Anybody from town?
None of that.
Nobody.
If it wasn't for Miss Janie, we wouldn't know what to do at all. There's no one calling and saying, okay, this is what agency you should get in touch with.
We were like, what about food? I said, oh my gosh, do the girls have health insurance? We need to make sure that, they're going to be able to go to the doctors. And so I made a list. I'm not sure where we go from here. We've been trying to get the FEMA funeral assistance, and it still says pending. To think that 2 young people are going to navigate this by themselves, I've barely been able to navigate it.
Sadly, there are many families like theirs.
In my mind, it is a national health emergency.
Dr. Charles Nelson was among the first to study caregiver deaths from COVID.
If a child has lost a parent, someone needs to show up at that doorstep right away, meaning that day, the next day.
And we know that there is no system for that right now.
That's the problem.
This loss is our loss. These children are our children. And it seems to me that we in positions of responsibility ought to start acting like it.
Deval Patrick co-chairs a large bipartisan coalition that's urged the White House to make these kids a priority.
There are resources available that are going unutilized, but there is so little transparency and clarity about how to access those programs that they might as well not exist.
Miss Janie knows that's true. She found it so hard to access services for the kids, she was relieved she created a GoFundMe page. Most of the money going to a down payment on a home of their own. The kids moved in last week.
They've never given up. They never say, why me? Ever. Not why us? Why did this happen to our mom? And these 4 kids get up every day with whatever challenge is ahead of them and still do it.
A truly remarkable family. And as Jenny said to me, every family needs a Miss Janie. And you know, one other thing, we reached out to FEMA about that benefit that Jenny had applied for, and they said they had made a mistake. They apologized. They told us they are sending the money to the family. And as of this morning, the COVID Collaborative is launching a first-of-its-kind clearinghouse, including direct links to services like that FEMA benefit, and that should help. For more info, you can go to our website at today.com.
The fact that money was sitting on the table that these people need going unused was unbelievable.
If you can't access the help, what's the point of having the help
You
there?
don't have an advocate. These kids need an advocate.
And by the way, those kids were remarkable. What a family, huh? And that most of these kids are under 13. I mean, they need someone to be their voice. So,
and you started that piece with 200,000 children. We had no idea. I didn't know.
And growing. And growing. And here's the thing: we know the number. We don't know who they are. We don't know where they live.
By the way, when the mom dies, how come no one from the hospital calls them? I mean, that's just unbelievable too. No one reached out to them.
Need a new system.
All right, Cynthia, thank you.
Thanks, Cynthia.
Thank you.
Thank you, Cynthia.
That story touched my heart. It's just sad, but the mother raised some really good kids. I thought it was a testament to them. And thank God for this woman and her husband stepping up, helping somebody in need, paying their rent for 6 months. And this is what I mean. You got a 40-year friendship going back to the facts of life situation. And you stabbed them in the back. And here this woman is pretty much almost a perfect stranger to this family. I mean, they knew him, but it wasn't like no 40 years friendship. And the husband and wife paid that rent and then started the GoFundMe, and they was able to buy a home. Listen, guys, be good to people. Be good to yourselves. Be good to your neighbors. And I think a lot of what's going on today, people don't even like themselves. And if you don't like yourself, you most certainly not going to like anybody else. But anyway, guys, hit the like button. If you didn't hit it on the way in, hit it on the way out. Good night and goodbye, everybody. And thanks for spending your Thursday night with me.
Do not cheat the divorce.